What's going on, guys? Today we are standing here in front of an Alcom XLT model trailer. So Alcom produces a good handful of enclosed trailers from pretty basic to very loaded. The XLT is their line that comes in most of the standard or more common sizes, and it is only available in a handful of colors and with a handful of options. There's really not much you can do to this trailer, but what that allows Alcom to do is create a really nice, really high-end aluminum trailer at a great price, because they're not having a bunch of options that kind of hold up the line, hold up production, and make it a more expensive trailer than it should be. Starting up front, you can obviously see that you can see the aluminum frame. So the aluminum tongue sticking out, automatically let you know it's an all aluminum frame trailer. When you have an aluminum frame trailer, they don't weld the coupler on, of course. They bolt it on because they can't weld steel to aluminum, and couplers are just not available in aluminum. From there, all your regular stuff, jack, 7-pin or 4-pin, depending on the size of the trailer. And then they put a nice little caster wheel on there to help roll it around a bit. One thing you're going to notice on aluminum trailers is that instead of using screws like a traditional steel trailer, they're going to have a lot more rivets. So what you're going to see is that an aluminum trailer typically has a bit of a nicer, higher end fit and finish on it. Because of the fact that aluminum trailers cost a bit more, they're made typically in a higher end factory, and so you're going to see all of your cuts, your rivets, your caulking, all of that stuff, the welds that are on this trailer. I'll zoom in here so you can see the welds. I mean, really nice weld work and riveting work on there. Just makes this trailer, the fit and finish, really nice on it. You can see the caulk job, that's on, between the stone guard. They don't even have to use a transition molding because everything's just cut and sealed really nicely on there. It is an all screwless side on these trailers to give them a really nice, sleek look from front to back. No screws, no rivets. All of that is held on by a material called either VHB or Degabond. A couple different materials get used in there. So basically it's just bonding the aluminum skin to the aluminum frame, so it doesn't need any mechanical fasteners to do that. As we come around to the back, you're going to notice that the trailer does have flow-through vents in the front corner and the rear to help air flow through as you're driving. It also lets the trailer just breathe while it's sitting there. You're going to have 4 bolt-on, really nice ramp door hinges in the back of it. All of your bar locks, instead of being steel, they are going to be an aluminum bar lock. Really nice feature there. Let's go ahead and pop inside so we can show you a little bit of what the inside looks like. All right, so this one does have a ramp door on the back. These trailers are available with double doors, but ramp is most common. As you come inside the trailer, you're going to see that it has the resin-based wall and floor in it. So there's a couple of different name brands of this stuff, Drymax, Stable Board, things like that. But it's a resin-based engineered wood as opposed to plywood. So this resin-based board offers a lot more of a consistent board for the factories to work with. It's always flat. It never has waves or bellies in it. The cuts on them are always perfectly smooth from because it's an engineered board, not a piece of plywood. If it ever does get wet, you leave the door open, it gets a leak, it won't swell, delaminate like plywood will. So most of the high-end factories have gone to this resin-based type board to avoid major warranties, and just to help in production in the way that it's like I said, a lot more consistent. It doesn't swell, it doesn't shrink, things like that, like a traditional plywood will. You are going to be 3/4 on the floor and 3/8 on the wall, very common in the industry. When you look up top, you're going to see, of course, you have your exposed roof bows, and they are all aluminum because this is an all aluminum frame trailer. You'll see the top rail. You can see the really nice aluminum welds that come along with this trailer. They use a really nice top, almost like a crown molding, to finish out the top of it, which looks great in this trailer. So all around, really well built, really nice aluminum trailer, and the price point on these is great because of the limited options available. If you do need something that the XLT does not offer, you need something more customized, then they do have their traditional legacy model that is still available and still has a ton of options available on it. So while we're in here, let's talk about why people want aluminum trailers. What's the difference between an aluminum trailer and a steel frame trailer? So number one, you have weight, of course. That's probably the most common reason people ask for aluminum, is that they are trying to save on weight. It's not going to be half the weight of a steel trailer. In general, you're going to save somewhere in the 15% to 20% range. So say we're standing in a 7x16 trailer here. A steel trailer weighs in the ballpark of 23 to 2,500 pounds. You're going to save, like I said, in the ballpark of 15 to 20%. So let's call it you're going to save 400 pounds, maybe 500 pounds on the high end. So it's not a life-changing amount of weight in this size trailer. As you get into bigger trailers, you'll of course see that that 20% equals a greater weight, and so you maybe have a little bit more to think about there. And then other than that, the fact that we're in South Florida, rust is definitely a thing that people think about, especially if you're on the intercoastal beach. It's going to be around that saltier environment. An aluminum trailer is, of course, not going to corrode or rust, at the same rate that a steel trailer will over time. Or if you're headed to the Northeast or out west where you're going up and you're going to maybe be bringing this trailer to an area where it's got salt and snow on the roads. Definitely a concern there, where a lot of that gets up into the bottom of the frame of the trailer and rusts out the bottom. So, whether it's the weight, the corrosion, or just the fact that a lot of times, like we were saying before, aluminum trailers are made with a little bit of a higher end fit and finish because of the types of factories that they're made in, and you're going to be putting something really nice in it, a show car, a motorcycle, and you just want that next step up in quality and fit and finish for the look of the trailer. Any of those reasons are really why you would look at spending a little bit more money on an aluminum trailer than the steel trailer. So thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. We appreciate it.